Hello there. Welcome back, guys, to Kenobi, Episode 3, our Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi series and review. Welcome to Project Potter, guys. My name is Kyler, your host. Guys, I have been lukewarm to freezing cold on the series so far, guys. I did not really like the first two episodes. The first one, a little bit. The second one, you guys have seen, like, it just... not for me. Guys, let me tell you that this is a good return to form. This gives me a lot of hope for the rest of the series going forward. If you haven't seen the series before, guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Go check out the other content. There's plenty of Star Wars content, of course, and then MC reviews, Batman, all that stuff, guys. So appreciate you stopping by. If you do like the content, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, of course. These have been going up pretty quickly, guys, because I'm trying to catch up. I started the series late, so episodes 1 and 2 are up on the channel now. This is going up there, and then probably when this goes up that night, episode 4 this week, which at the time of this recording is coming out tomorrow, will be up as well. So what we do is kind of my favorite scenes in the episode. This is where the fun begins. Favorite character, least favorite character, score out of 10. So here we go. This is where the fun begins, and the fun has finally begun because, dude, Vader puts asses in the seats. Like, I'm just going to call it how it is. Darth Vader is what people came here to see. Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Vader, we thought it would be like the end of the series. Nah, dude. Not only do we get a Vader versus Obi-Wan fight, we get Vader putting his armor on, dude. We get the arms going on there. We get the bell. We get the breathing. This is great, dude. This is like when he first becomes Vader, pretty much right after Revenge of the Sith. His power's on display here. We get a scene where he goes to the village at the end. He just snaps like, dude, snack, dude. He drags some lady with the Force for like 5 minutes, and I was like, okay. And I was hoping he would say, like, come on out, Obi-Wan. But like, we get the classic James Earl Jones. Either they redid lines from James Earl Jones, or they found a really good way of impersonating him because it sounded great. It sounded iconic. And it was just awesome, dude. And it wasn't quite Rogue One-esque of power. But remember, guys, that this is actually before Rogue One. So this is like fresh Vader, right? Like he just got into being Vader, but he's still got a presence, right? Like people are like, oh, Lord Vader, Lord Vader. Like the Empire knows about it. The scenes on the back of the pickup truck where he goes into the Empire pickup truck were really cool. The one part I didn't like about that is when he's like, oh, don't worry, Leia. And then the stormtroopers like, they did like the Spider-Man meme, dude. They were like, you just call her Leia? And he's like, oh, bro, did I say Leia? I didn't mean Leia. I meant like, she looks like Freya. Like Freya, you guys know Freya, Norse mythology? But no, he was like, sometimes I think of her mother or whatever. And they were like, okay. And I was like, it's a little too like much a cop out. I would have liked to see like Obi-Wan kind of, he talks his way out of it a little bit, but like the stormtroopers, now I know stormtroopers are not the smartest, they're a lot of just foot soldiers, but like I would like to see Obi-Wan in a bit more of a bind there. So that was kind of like a cop out, I felt like. But overall, I thought that scene was really good. I thought it was pretty tense when he was like, oh, remember, you don't speak. And Leia just like starts talking and she's like, my friend, father. And then the guy was like, that's a weird story. Because she's like, we were just in the field and we got lost. And Obi-Wan's like, bro, you couldn't come up with a better story. I thought it actually worked here. It was a little cheesy, but Star Wars is a little cheesy. But overall, I thought it was pretty tense. For the undercover Imperial officer who was like a hidden Jedi, I think, or not a hidden Jedi, but hidden alliance, for her to kind of double cross, I was thinking like, how does that work? Because she's like with these stormtroopers, so she's obviously like a commander or whatever. And then her whole squad dies. They have obviously probes and security cameras and stuff like that. So a little bit of stretch of imagination there, but I thought overall a lot of this episode worked for me way more than the first two episodes. And I was like, oh, this is great. And like seeing Vader and hearing Vader and his presence was great. I think we almost got a little too much of him. And I know this is like the last time we're going to see like prime Vader, because that's the beauty about a prequel, is that we can go through and see. But like, I love how he's like, I'm Ben Kenobi. He's like, I'm not Obi-Wan. He's like, I'm Ben. And he fights like Ben Kenobi in this one. He says like, the years have made you weak. And it's true. It's like, he takes his lightsaber out, but it's not like a confident lightsaber. When the scene behind me, when he takes it out, he's running, and Ben is running, and he knows, like, he's scared, and he sees Vader's power, and he's like, dude, I haven't lifted like any weights in like 10 years. Okay. He just got tapped back into the Force. I think it's interesting that Obi-Wan was in hiding for so long, and then he tapped into the Force to save Leia. And then like, that's kind of how they're tracking him. And Anakin kind of feels him, but I would have liked a little bit more dialogue. This is the first time they've seen each other. And he's just like, bro, first of all, I'm surprised Ben isn't like, and maybe we get this later, but he's not like, how did you survive? Because last I saw you, dude, half your body was missing. You were on fire. Your whole face was gone. And so he's like, how are you? Are you mostly robot? Like, what's going on here? I would have liked him to like address that a little bit more, but this was very much like him seeing how powerful Vader has become. He said, like, you should have killed me. Guys, the scene, I can't believe I almost forgot about the scene. The scene where Vader force drags, first of all, he spills, I don't know what, it wasn't oil. I don't know what he spilled over, but it was highly flammable, obviously. He uses the force to throw that over, and then Vader just like force chokes Obi-Wan, and there's an awesome scene where he's like hanging up there and he's just doing it one-handed, and then he like just dips his lightsaber down and then it ignites everything, and then he's like, this is the beginning of your pain, and he drags him into the fire. I was like, oh dude, that's fucked up. Like, I was like, that's some real like payback shit. Like, he's like, you left me burning alive, and he was basically like, I'm gonna do the same thing to you. And I was like, what's gonna happen here? And then for Obi-Wan to get out of that, or Ben to get out of that, that was kind of weird to me, because like I think the undercover alliance trooper like shot, did she shoot Vader and then he lost the force? I don't know. That was weird because he was so powerful that like you think it would just like glance off of him, but that was a little weird how he escaped. Another cop out sort of, but overall I thought that scene was amazing. The third sister stuff I still didn't really like. There's now like that competition between her and then the second brother. I don't know what that guy's name is, but he's pretty cool, but he's got this raspy like I'm evil for evil's sake voice. And the Inquisitors in general, I think I'm not loving. I love the design. The lightsaber being on the back is pretty cool, but it's just like they're too like angry evil for me. I wish there was a little more backstory, but I think we'll get into that hopefully. Their base is awesome. The probes, we saw that shot from the trailer when the probes go out. Visually, this was striking. Again, this felt a lot closer to a movie level. The first episode did too, but this had a very high quality to it. And it's like, they really put, I think, a lot of the budget in here. I think we saw maybe a little too much Vader. I would have liked a quick scene where he's like snapping the necks or whatever, and Obi-Wan ran away. I was going to say, I don't think we need an Obi-Wan versus Vader fight, but this, I would kind of disagree with myself there, because this shows you that he is Ben Kenobi and he's not in fighting shape and he's scared and he's clearly outmatched. And it's like, oh, we're obviously going to have a rematch at the end. We're going to see Ben super powerful being Obi-Wan. And that's going to be awesome to see, because it's like going to show how far he's come. He's going to obviously tap into Qui-Gon. He's still asking for Qui-Gon. So I'm sure we'll see a Liam Neeson cameo here. When she said there's a pilot that's going to take you out, I was trying to think about it, and I was like, is Han going to show up? Dude, if we get Alden Ehrenreich or whatever as Han, I'm going to lose my mind. I love it. So I'm sure there's going to be one crazy cameo, at least in this series. So yeah, really happy with the episode, guys, and much improved from the first two, I think. Okay, guys, who was the chosen one, which is my favorite character? It's Ben Kenobi. It's not Obi-Wan Kenobi, because he's not quite Obi-Wan again. Remember, he's like, it's Ben now. It's just Ben. Ewan McGregor, man, for a series called Kenobi, I didn't give him my chosen one the first two episodes. I think this is his strongest performance so far in the series. He felt a lot more like old Obi-Wan, but still distinctly different, where he's not as powerful. He's not as tapped into the Force. And it's like, remember, guys, Alec Guinness's character in A New Hope is so confident, where he's like, strike me down and I will become more powerful than you can ever imagine. And he's so confident in that moment. To know that fight, and then to know their Mustafar fight before, and then to see this, it's so cool to see like the different fights and how they interact. And so that's really, really cool. And it's like, we're not quite there with Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan, obviously, but I'm so interested to see how it goes throughout the story and how we get to like Alec Guinness's character. And I want to see what they do with the makeup. And I hope at the end of the finale, they have him like looking so much or acting so much like Alec Guinness's character. So I think Ewan is great. I did enjoy him the first two episodes, but I didn't think it was his best performance. I think it was a lot better to like classic Ewan, what made Obi-Wan so special in the prequels to begin with. And it's different from the prequels. It's obviously like a more rundown Ben Kenobi, but like I think it was really good, and I think his performance was excellent in this one. Okay, guys, and who failed me for this one for the last time? Third sister, played by Moses Ingram, Reva. Man, she's just too angry. I really like her design, but like her line delivery, she's like, so do it then. And I'm like, I don't know, it's just weird. She's just always angry, and it's like, we don't have her motivations, and she's not really scared of Vader. You know, Vader is like, if you fail me, you won't live to regret it. And she didn't really like tremble or anything. She like, the original like generals did in A New Hope, where Vader threatens them and like, or he's like, oh yeah, silly Jedi religion, and then he starts getting force choked. Vader didn't do that to Third Sister. He's like, hey, you've been doing well. You could be the Grand Inquisitor, but like, don't, if you mess it up, like you won't live to regret it. And she didn't really react to it. And it's like, I just haven't seen enough emotional range from her. And I think she's the most boring character in the show so far. I will say, I know we're on bad characters. Baby Leia, still don't like her, but this was her better episode. That I was like, okay, it's cute watching her walk around with Obi-Wan. She's so small. Dude. This girl's like 1 foot tall, but she's walking around, and obviously Ben is playing the father figure here, so it's cute. He's learning. He's like, hey, stay safe. It's that father-daughter thing is nice. So she was better, still not great, but yeah, Third Sister, dude, I'm just like could care less about her character, and they're trying to build her as the big baddie, but when you have Vader already as the main villain, she's just like small potatoes compared to him. So she is my the one who failed me for the last time. Guys, that brings us to the score. This is an 8-8 for me. This is easily the best episode so far. I really enjoyed this. I don't think it was a masterpiece. I don't think it was perfect. It had its flaws. There were a couple scenes, like I said, Ben getting out of the fire was a little convenient. Them getting out of the back of the pickup truck trouble with the stormtroopers, a little convenient. But overall, guys, and again, it's weird because Obi-Wan's picture has been like, I know it's just on that one planet, but everyone knows what Obi-Wan looks like. And so it's so weird that the Empire doesn't know, like they don't recognize Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like he gets on the back of pickup and they're like, you seen a Jedi around here? And he's like, I don't even know what a Jedi is. And they're like, it's you, bro. Like it's you. But stormtroopers have never been the brightest. So like, I get it. But it's just a little unrealistic to me that like, no one recognizes Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like he should be. It's been 10 years, so it's like you should be able to easily recognize him. And he looks almost the same as he did at the end of Revenge of the Sith. So it's not like they've never seen him before. So that's a little immersion breaking for me, but I can put it aside. I think this was a really strong episode. I think visually it was cool, and I think this was like a little teaser, like, hey, we're gonna have Vader and Obi-Wan have a cool fight, but it's gonna be nothing compared to the series finale because that's just gonna be crazy. And then like, the choreography in Revenge of the Sith for their original fight, before obviously he became Vader and before he had the high ground. I hope there's a high ground line or something in there. There was a line where Leia said, "Father, aren't you going to say hi?" And he goes, "Hello." And I was like, oh, bro, that was a hello there, just teed up for you. All you had to do was say hello there, and it's like just give the fans what they want. But in an episode where we get a Ben versus a Vader fight, I will not complain about that. So yeah, strong episode, guys, and I'm now more excited going forward for the remaining 3 episodes, I believe. All right, guys, well, that's another episode of Kenobi. Thanks for checking out the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. How have you guys been enjoying this as much as I have? Again, like the first episode, hated the second one. This one is the best one, I think, so now I'm more excited. I hope they don't drop the ball. I don't know really where the story's going. I'm waiting for some big cameos, but obviously now it's going to be about Ben getting back to Obi-Wan Kenobi, becoming a Jedi Master, and then being able to take on Vader, and we'll kind of see how that goes out, because remember, guys, in A New Hope, that's their last fight, and obviously Ben technically, or Obi-Wan doesn't win that fight. He becomes the Force Ghost, but this is really like, how is this next fight going to look? This should be like the ultimate clash at the end of the series. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, appreciate you guys stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, guys, peace.